All right. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. A little more like it, right? I hope you had Ethiopian coffee to wake you up, because that's not the kind of response I was expecting. You know, energetic. I know you've been here the whole day, but I promise you, this is going to be the most exciting panel of the whole day, or the whole year from the UK in London, okay? So we are going to be talking about something very relevant, very exciting, and a sector that made a lot of millionaires last week in America. You saw the SpaceX IPO. 4,000 millionaires were created with just one IPO in the technology space. So we have to replicate that in Ethiopia as well when we do IPOs, right? Anyways, my name is Medina Negatu. You can see it there. Everybody misspells my name and mispronounces my name, so I'm used to it so I don't get offended. But you can call me Zem. And I'm going to ask a fantastic panelist to come up to the stage. We start with not only age seniority, being the youngest, but also a very powerful person, Bileni Siyu. Come on up here. Give her a round of applause. And then next, Dr. Andualam Admase from Safaricom. And last but not least, Pavle, right? Is that the right way of pronouncing it? Come on up here. He's the Director of Research and Policy at the Cambridge Center. All right. So, as I said, this is a technology panel, how technology transforms lives, with the focus, obviously, on Ethiopia, right? I'm sure many of you have been to Ethiopia lately, or let me just start. How many people have been to Ethiopia in the last 2 years? Oh, this is a fantastic crowd. Okay. Pretend you haven't been there for the others who've never been there, okay? The changes you see in Ethiopia are dramatic. Really, if you see Addis, the city has changed beyond recognition. Even the neighborhood that I was born and raised, now I use a GPS to get around, because it's just been coming down to a lot of the changes that you see in Ethiopia. Even on the streets of Addis, the old billboards, the traditional static billboards, they've disappeared. They are now being replaced by the digital visual effects, giant LCDs, which continuously provides updated information. So Ethiopia, the economy has changed, the tech space has changed dramatically. I run an investment bank in Ethiopia called CBE Capital. There's no other competitor of ours here, so I can say we were the first. Well, they got their license 2 minutes after we got ours, so we're still the first ones, right? So if you come to our offices, it's a partnership, by the way, and this is, again, another innovation that the Ethiopian government is showing. It's the first PPP in the banking sector in the Ethiopian history. It's the Ethiopian government, through the bank, CBE, owns the majority of the shares, and the private sector, which I'm involved in, is involved in it. So if you come to our offices, there's not a single paper on anybody's desk. Nothing. Everything is AI enabled, everything. Now, we didn't have any legacy systems to protect that helped, but it's a reflection of when you go into a frontier market for capital markets or an emerging economy like Ethiopia, you don't have to replicate what others did and undid as they went along. We started from scratch. So a year ago when we were putting together the plan, we said, how can we leverage the technology that Ethiopia is rolling out? At that time, it was called the Vision 2025. Now, we'll talk about Vision 2030. But this is where we're going, even in the investment banking business. For example, prospectus today, we use AI to generate prospectus. We don't use a lot of analysts. So it's a transformational environment that we're in, and it's reflected. The brokerage division, if you come in, the screens, everything. It used to be, trading, and even in New York, they used to have call-outs, paper, and all. No, we don't do that anymore. So a lot is happening that way. So that's why I'm excited about this panel. But I'm going to start way from there, okay? And I'm going to ask Bileni. He's one of the architects of the strategy for Ethiopia, Vision 2030, Vision 2025. For those of you who don't know her, she will introduce herself. Don't be modest. She's very influential. She's well plugged into the thinking that's going on in Ethiopia. So first, each one of you, 1 minute, tell us who you are, what you do, and then I'll come with questions, going back, starting with you, okay?
Okay. Huge expectations from Mr. Zamadena. Good afternoon to everyone. My name is Bilani Siyum and I'm from the Office of the Prime Minister in Ethiopia. I serve as Press Secretary and spokesperson for the Prime Minister. I am not behind the Digital 2025 or 2030. I articulate the Prime Minister's goals and ambitions in that. So with that disclaimer, I can pass on to the next.
I told you she was going to be very, very low, right? She is part of the strategy, okay? Go ahead.
Thank you. My name is Angola Madumase. I'm the Chief External Affairs Officer for Safaricom Ethiopia. And I passed through more than 29 years of experience, of which 1/3 is in telco, and 1/3 is in higher education, and another 1/3 is in the private sector. So I used to be the CEO of Ethio Telecom. I'm competing with my own baby currently, so this is me. Thank you.
Thank you very much. My name is Pavel Abramovich. I'm a Director of Research at the Cambridge Center for Alternative Finance. It's a research center at the University of Cambridge, and our focus is truly on the regulation and governance of all of these digital technologies. And we've done recently extensive work in Ethiopia, how to govern and really enable that safe innovation, which we'll talk about.
Very good. So I'm going to go back to you, Bilani. So I'll ask you 4 key areas to cover, all related to ICT, digitization. Can you give us an overview of Digital Ethiopia 2030? What does it cover? Within that, if you can talk about, for example, the National ID program, the 5 million coders, that was a big initiative of the Prime Minister. I think they've rolled out, they've trained 5 million coders in the last couple of years or 3 years, right? The Artificial Intelligence AI Institute, or now is it a university, or you have something there? And then overall, what you do every day, how you use digital technology in the communication work that you do. If you see the tweets that they put out, both the visual and the text is really amazing, right? I mean, that's using a lot of technology to communicate, especially since 70% of the Ethiopian population is under 30, right? So you need to communicate to that audience, right? So they do it very effective. So if you can start with that.
Okay, thank you, Zamadena. I think having listened to some of the conversations in other panels, it also gives me an opportunity to refresh and reframe in terms of the priorities for the government. In the earlier session, my colleague here had also talked about the key priorities for the government. And over the past 7 to 8 years, there's been a lot of transformation, as Zamadena has said, but it's all anchored in deliberate thinking and deliberate strategizing to enable the country to leap into the potential that it actually possesses. So the priority areas anchored in our homegrown economic reform agenda have been also the issues that we've been discussing here already this morning. Agriculture being the backbone of the economy is one pillar area that's an important one. Mining, which I think we will be talking about later on, is another anchor pillar for the homegrown economic reform agenda. Then we have the manufacturing sector and industrialization that had been addressed. Tourism, which I see that it's not part of the discussion, but really is a huge untapped potential as well for investments, and requires a thorough look-in by interested partners as well. And then the 5th pillar is ICTs and digitization, obviously. I remember in the past panel there was a question around in the agribusiness panel why energy is not a pillar, but energy is an enabler. It's a cross-cutting issue across all of the sectors and a key focus area of the government as well. The same thing with digitization and ICTs as one important pillar. It's also cross-cutting because all of the other pillar areas of the homegrown economic reform agenda championed by the Prime Minister rely on this. As Zamadina has tried to share with you a very grounded and personal reflection of how digitization is manifesting in Ethiopia, really I can tell you that the most exciting part about 7 or 8 years ago, actually a little before 8 years ago, before the reforms, was being able to withdraw cash from an ATM. That's how exciting it was at that point in time, and it was a limited amount that you can do. But fast forward to where we are in 2026, and obviously the world has also evolved in terms of technology, and a priority, as Zamadina had intimated earlier for the Prime Minister, as one of the avid champions of digitization in Ethiopia, is to leapfrog, because many countries, developed ones, have gone through their own trials and errors through that process of digitization, as well as other sectors as well. But the advantage for us as an untapped country with a lot of potential is to be able to learn, the lessons and experiences from other countries and adapt to emerging technologies and be able to make them homegrown and suitable for the demands of